Without further ado, let me invite our presenter for today, Chantel, to bring you through today's webinar. Chantel, please.
Thank you, Tessa. Hi everyone, I'm Chantel, your presenter for today's webinar. I'm an account manager with Just Log In. If you'd like to connect with me on LinkedIn or via email after today's session, you can find me at the contact details here. Otherwise, you can connect with us, the Just Log In team, at the social media channels as shown at the bottom of the screen. Here's a brief intro about Just Log In before we begin the presentations proper. Just Log In is actually the first HR software as a service provider in Asia. Starting since 1999, we have accumulated 19 years of HR cloud experience and have a presence all over the globe in the various countries and with over 1,800 customers. We have also won multiple awards for our HR applications, including the Gold Award for our payroll software. So without further ado, let us straight into the agenda for today's topic. Today we'll be covering what is the definitions of a payroll software, explore reasons on why do we need a payroll system, what are the different types of a payroll software, what are the features to look out for when you're choosing for a payroll software, and few factors for you to consider in your business needs. And we'll close the webinar with a Q&A section. Before we begin, let us go through a brief introduction to what exactly is a payroll software. A payroll software is designed to organize all the tasks of the employee payment and the filing of employee taxes. These tasks can include keeping track of hours, calculating wages, withholding taxes and deductions, printing and delivering checks, and paying employment taxes to the government. It can be compared against its predecessors, manual payroll, either using pen and paper or through Excel templates. Let us clarify a common misconception about payroll software. A payroll software is meant to help to facilitate the process of running payroll to pay the employees. As can be seen from the diagram on the screen, in these simplified payroll processes, the payroll software will help to calculate the employees' pay according to the different pay elements and then generate the necessary file for bank submissions or tax submissions. It will also help to enhance the communications about pay-related information between the HR and their staff, as employees will be able to check their details themselves. So the question is, why do we need a payroll software? As many of us already know by now, the whole process of paying our employees and workers is not as simple as it seems. The task of processing payroll includes like keeping track of working hours, calculating wages, withholding taxes, deductions, considering certain benefits and compensation packages, paying employment taxes to the government, and so on. So all these factors can easily complicate the pay run process where accurate tabulations is essential. This is where a payroll software can come in handy. As mentioned earlier, a payroll software helps to facilitate the payroll tabulations and communication process, allowing for more efficient and accurate calculations of employees' pay, as well as more visibility and clarity between the employee and employer's salary disbursement. So imagine reducing those pile of papers and or Excel sheets into the single click of a button instead. Let technology work for you instead and think of all the time you could actually be saving. To help us understand a little better on what is a payroll software, let's take a look at the types of payroll software available in the markets. So they can be generally categorized into cloud versus on-premise software. The main difference between the two is that while one is actually hosted on the online web portal, which we call cloud, and the others need to be set up within the local data center on premises. This essentially means that there's a less mobility and it being limited in terms of the accessibility as compared to a cloud software. The successful rollout of an on-premise software will ideally require a dedicated IT department for quick maintenance. The first key features you look out for in a payroll system we would like to highlight today is actually a simple and used by using a dashboard. You may be curious and be thinking, why would a dashboard be considered as important? A dashboard can actually help you to easily break down the steps you need to take to run a payroll successfully, ensuring that no steps are missed out and the pay run process can be carried out smoothly. As you can see from the image extracted from Just Log In ePayroll Express dashboard, the pay run process is clearly outlined, starting with the necessary details need to be filled, when preparing for payroll, such as like their employee details and pay elements, then proceed to start a new pay run. Then after which you can generate like relevant files for bank transfer and tax submissions. Finally, post payroll reports for administrative purposes. Second, another key features to have in the payroll software is actually the flexibility to create as many pay elements as you want. As we all know, every company has their own employee policies and pay packages. This also means multiple pay elements are involved when running a payroll for all the company staff. So you can see from here, we actually split into like the additions and deductions. While easier said than done, of course, this also actually includes the ability to calculate daily, monthly, weekly, or yearly deductions, remittance of taxes and other avenues, and these are actually what makes your payroll process stressful to do on your own. Ensure that the payroll software you are subscribing to allows you to create as many pay elements as you want that is suitable to the different needs and pay structures of your various employees. As a result, itemized payslip can be generated from the system, which clearly outline of each pay element for the employee and at the same time comply with MOM rules and regulation. After completion of the pay run, the HR administrator typically would need to manually input the amount to disperse payment from their own internet banking or manually input the amount in the CPF website for their CPF submissions for the employees. But with the help of the payroll software, this process will be automated where you can actually select to generate the CPF file from the dashboard. The file generated from the system can be uploaded to CPF directly. We have the instructions at the bottom to guide you on how to make use of the CPF e-submission. And this is the e-file. And this is the e-file for you to upload in the CPF website for the submission. Nonetheless, you can always preview the file first to ensure correct CPF calculations and which account it is going into. Next, of course, you can generate bank file. So payroll software actually consolidate all the pay informations into one single file for you to upload to from your respective internet banking. So basically, we support all the major banks in Singapore, but please make sure which gyro format you are currently using with your current banking account. Just to show, this is the example of the DBS file for you to upload in your internet banking. Four features of a payroll software you will be looking is the payroll software allows you to customize and export payroll reports. Things to take note when choosing a payroll software: how comprehensive are the reports available, and how easy can you export the data out for internal use. Just log in ePayroll dashboard allow you to save the commonly used report for quicker access, and all our reports can be exported to PDF and Excel. So whether you are working remotely or just happen to step out of the office at the moment, know immediately when your payslip is released and be able to view and check it at your fingertips. No longer be restricted to just email attachment or have to wait for your money pay statements to be notified when your pay is in. So having an easy accessibility to view payslip is definitely a bonus to all employees. After all, isn't receiving our pay what most of us work for, honestly? Lastly, another key features to look out for in payroll software is whether is it regularly updated and backup. Often understated, but the last thing you would want to lose is all the information of your employees due to a computer system errors or crash. A cloud payroll software will be likely to suit your needs here, as your employee data and pay information can be securely stored and easily retrieved. Also, because it's in a cloud storage, you don't have to worry that computer hardware will corrupt any of your data. Manual patches will also not be necessary, as updates to the software is done automatically by your payroll software service provider. Last, we'll be actually covering the factors to consider for your business needs. First, of course, the size of the company. The larger your company, the more complex the HR process. So your payroll software will need to be easily scalable to meet your business needs. have to consider whether solutions is able to meet these HR complexities, such as like policies, what are the reports that you need, versus with the small company, consider whether do you need internal resources to maintain, do you have internal resources to maintain an on-premises software. The second point we are covering actually the employee locations. So you have to check whether is your staff placements, they are actually concentrated within one working space or more. So enabling remote working would also means that ensuring your payroll system is able to integrate employee attendance tracking and mobile-friendly access to pay-related information. Third one is actually employee pay structure. Depends on your company policies. Are they being paid hourly, salaried, or the combinations of both? So your payroll software should be able to customizable to your employees' differing pay structure. Fourth point we'll be covering is actually the in-house payroll administrations, or you're considering for outsourced HR processes. Either way, easy accessibility into the system for both your employees and top management is necessary. So when you're actually choosing for a payroll system, you have to make sure whether they have the compatibility to a third-party software. So meaning that is your company using any other accounting software or HR software? Can the data be easily synced across these different systems? Last but not least, we are actually looking on the credibility of the software. So is the software technology company reliable? Does it provide like regular updates about its functions, features, regulations, compliance status? I'm actually at the end of the session. So for this webinar, it's actually more to give you a brief idea what are the things that you need to look out for when you're choosing a payroll software. So the next step is that I actually do a weekly payroll live demo. It only lasts about 15 minutes. I actually cover in-depth understanding on how the Just Like payroll system works. You can sign your interest as the link follow, or otherwise you can feel free to contact or email me, and you can find any other information here. So now comes to the Q&A sessions. I actually welcome your questions, feedback of today's webinar, and what are things that you'll like to look out for in the next coming webinar?
Hi everyone. So thank you, Chantel. Does anyone have any questions regarding today's topic? Just feel free to post them inside the chat box. So if there are no questions, that's all for today. Thank you for joining us. Yeah. We'll be sending out the slides to you. Yeah. So you can look out for the slides in your email. Thank you.